ready for it. Wasn't too bad. Welcome to the ZMY Begin class. Okay, so we're going to use the bolster or blanket or whatever we have, and we're going to lie down. So it's just such an important thing, especially, I mean, if you came to yoga 3 times a week and did this every single time, you're still not going to open up the front of the body as much as you need to, considering all of the closing that we do, you know, whether you're a student or working or whatever. So I just love to do this, especially in the begin classes. So make sure you have just a few inches away of your support, and then you're going to lie straight down on it. And so I'll give you some options for your legs. You can keep them straight. You can put the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees hang out. And if you choose one, you can always change your mind to the other. So know that too. And then your arms are going to be straight out. So you can start to feel the pectoral muscles open up. If you're not feeling much this way, you can slide the arms up, maybe come into a stretch. But if you feel any tingling or anything in the arms, bring them back down. We don't want the arms to float. We do want them to be touching the floor somewhat. And so we're going to focus a little bit on, obviously, the breath, but the subtlety of the breath. So just take a few breaths here and start to connect to your mat. Start to notice anything that you're feeling by lying on the support. And I want you to notice as you inhale, I want you to notice how your pelvis, where your hip joints are, how your pelvis kind of tilts forward as you inhale, like the breath is tilting the pelvis forward. And then as you exhale, it retracts back. It's just a slight movement, but the pelvis is the biggest bone in the body. And the diaphragm and the pelvic floor actually work together as you breathe. You inhale, they move away from each other. You exhale, they move towards each other. And just kind of feel that subtle movement as you breathe. This is a motion that's really important to keep open in the body. You know, if we get into the habit of just using our chest to breathe, then we're not moving the guts around basically like we should. So belly and chest are both moving and are part of the respiratory process as you breathe. And we're just going to stay here for like another minute. If you're feeling the stretch, you're losing the stretch in the shoulders, slide your arms up a little bit more. Or not, you could stay where you are. And if your palms are facing up, that'll help the shoulder blades retract down the back too. Another breath or two. And then this last breath, we're gonna just inhale as deeply as we can. Separate the lips and exhale. Just a nice free breath. Bring your hands down towards your knees and bring the knees or the legs, the thighs, bring the knees back together and straighten the legs. And now you're gonna bring the arms overhead and take a long stretch while you're on your bolster and just really feel the spine get long. And then go ahead and bring the hands down. You're gonna bend the knees to safely roll onto your side. And then go ahead and push yourself up. Use the strength of your arms to push yourself up and then move that bolster off to the side. How do you guys feel when you're sitting? I know, does your back feel pretty comfortable when you're sitting on the floor? Okay, because you can sit on this, because we're gonna kind of sit in a meditative pose for a moment. Now that we have the breath under control. Sit with your legs crossed, and we're only gonna be here for literally a minute. It'll be more of like a mindfulness thing. Is that sun in your eyes? Do you wanna move? You're good? Okay, let's have the palms facing up. And have maybe the elbows a little bit closer towards the body so you can be relaxing the shoulders. Sit up nice and tall. And so you'll feel like the sitting bones are grounding into the floor, and then you'll be reaching up through the top of the head. So the spine is reaching upward. And then if you're not comfortable having your eyes closed, you can just have a soft gaze on the floor. Your palms are up, so you can be in this receiving mode. I just want to talk about abundance and receiving and whatever it is that you need. Stillness, strength, whatever comes to mind that you need to fill your bucket, fill your cup, gratitude. You're going to continue the slow, steady breath, and I'm going to time us for 1 minute in this sit. When your mind wanders, focus on the inhale and the exhale. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Blink the eyes open nice and slow. And then we'll begin by reaching the left arm up. So inhale, bring the arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. Even as we move through each pose, find a spot that you can gaze at for your focus. Bring the left hand down. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. Go ahead and bring the right arm down. We're going to walk the fingertips forward. So just go as far as you can. A couple inches, all the way. If your forehead can touch the floor, bring it all the way down. If you guys start to hear a fire truck, like if there's more of those vehicles behind, you might want to plug your ears. Just a heads up. Inhale, look up and bring the hands towards the body. We're going to extend the legs out in front. Sirens are really conducive to yoga. They're nice and calming. No, they do teach us good yoga. Can you still focus when you have piercing noise coming at you? Bend the right knee. We're gonna just cross it over the left leg, and we're gonna do a twist like this. So your right hand is gonna be supporting behind you, but don't twist the spine just yet. We always wanna get tall first. Once we inhale and get real tall, then we can exhale, grab the knee and rotate, and maybe look over in the direction of our right shoulder. And this left leg, we want the toes to be pointing up. So flex the foot, keep the left foot active. Now, Robin, you can't see my left foot. There we go. And so I don't count your breaths here. I just want you to take like 3 or 4 breaths. Try to come into the twist a little bit more with each exhale. We're twisting from the upper spine, the upper back. And then exhale, come back to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. If you feel like you can reach the elbow to the outside of the knee, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just hold on to the knee. Left hand supports you. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, rotate to the left. I have a feeling that those vehicles are coming this way. So if you guys will probably pause and cover our ears. I guess maybe they are, yeah. They usually come right down Main Street. One more breath here. And then exhale, come back to center. Both legs are going to be straight out in front of you. Now, you can use your strap here or not. I'm going to actually get you guys a strap. It's super long, so you just want to fold it in half to use it. Yep, and I'll show you how to use it in just a moment. Well, whoever's hurt, I hope they're okay. All right. So with the legs in front of us, when we're doing a forward fold, I mean, this obviously in a begin class, I'm going to explain things a little bit more. With the forward folds, we have to use muscle and strength, okay? Put your belt around your feet, especially if you're typically flexible, which a couple of you are pretty flexible. It's important that you bring strength into it. So once you have the belt, you're going to inhale, get tall like we did on the twist, and then rip the mat apart with your legs. You're really activating the legs. As you exhale, pull forward. Keep the back as straight as you can. Yep. Good. And if your back is nice and straight and you feel like you could grab your feet, go ahead and do that. And then each time you exhale, just soften. Good. How does it feel on your back? Do you feel it in the back of your legs? Okay. So once you, yep, go ahead and stay there and then soften your shoulders a little bit, but don't push it too much, just a little bit of a stretch, and then you can breathe. And Sammy, I'm going to come behind you for a moment. Are you okay if I put my hands on you? Okay. I just want to see how you go with, is this okay? And just keep your chin going towards your shins. Do you feel this a lot in your hamstrings? Okay. Take another breath or two here. And then inhale to look up. And then exhale, release. You can put your belt off to the side. Good. Your legs are just going to come into another forward fold, but we're going this way. So we'll stretch this out before we do the balancing stuff. I don't know if you guys saw that picture I posted. Well, it was right with the cat. Did you see that with the cat folding forward? Because you feel like you're just kind of going like this in this pose. So what we want to do is sometimes we have to sit on something, but it's all muscle. So activate the legs, pull the toes towards your shins, and you kind of feel the glutes engage a little bit. Yep, go ahead and sit on that if you need to. You do want to start, you guys are actually have a pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we're just gonna inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, keep the legs pressing into the floor as you tip forward. Some of you are gonna go further than others. This is my limit when I'm not warmed up. As you come forward, pull the shoulder blades back. Keep the legs active. And it never matters, how far you go. Just go. Your mom is pretty flexible, so she's gonna go all the way down. Don't worry about, don't worry about how far you go.
I have a hard time deciding how like keeping my back straight.
It's all, it's, so,
It has to be conscious.
yes,
I constantly have to kind of reset and
yep. So move with the breath and also scoop the belly in and up. Lift the pelvic floor. The more you press your legs, the more you'll fold forward because you're pretty flexible too. And then the muscles in the back actually help press you down. Yeah, so see how that feels. We're just gonna take another breath or two here. Because you're actually pretty far.
Okay.
Let me see, actually, I'm gonna push on you again, okay? All right, let's see how this goes. Just keep activating the legs. It's like definitely activate here. And then keep drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Yeah, this is really good, actually. Stay here and just use the muscle to keep you there. How you feel, okay? Yeah, I don't even do that. So you're just gonna go like right here and take a couple breaths. Do you still feel a stretch? Then you're good. Inhale to look up, and then exhale, start to walk your hands back. To come out of this, I want you to bring your hands under your knees to help your knees come together, okay? And then support yourself with your hands and just kind of rock the knees back and forth, or just bounce the knees a little bit. Yeah. And then we'll come to hands and knees. Your knees are gonna go to the edges of the mat and your big toes are gonna come together. You're gonna sit back on your heels. This is our child's pose. Walk the hands forward. And if you can, bring your forehead down to the mat. Good. And if you feel like you need a little bit of movement here, you can rock a little bit, or you can just be still. This is our resting pose, one of our resting poses. Your nervous system loves this because it's a forward fold. Any forward fold where you're, especially where your head is touching the floor, gives the signal to your body, the parasympathetic nervous system, to kick on and go into just rest and digest. It lengthens your spine. We'll take a few more breaths here. And it's a really good position to just kind of surrender and let go. Ideas, expectations. On your next inhale, you're going to look up and start to walk the hands a little bit towards the body. And that way we can walk the hands to the right as far as we can. And then exhale, soften towards the floor. We're just staying here for another breath, and then we're going to do the other side. So go ahead, inhale, lift, walk to the other side. And exhale, soften. Reach that top arm as far as you can. Yeah, so that you get into the lower parts of the back. Inhale, come up, come back to center. Up onto hands and knees for our cat pose. So we'll start with an inhale. Make sure your hands are at least as wide as your shoulders. Yep, so you can probably separate your hands further apart like this. Yeah, yes. And then spread the fingers, press the hands. We're gonna inhale and lift the tailbone, lift the chin. So like you're dropping your belly towards the mat. And then exhale, arch your back like a cat. Drop the head. Inhale, dip. And exhale, arch. Keep going like this. Go as slow as you want to go. Move a little faster if you'd like. If you want to add some shoulders and hips, you can do that too. Do a couple more rounds. How does this feel? Good? Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to get to those areas. So when you like lower back soreness, if you stay here for a couple of breaths and like Jedi mind trick to your lower back and really try to release the muscles, it lets go of the spine so much. You might even get a couple of cracks. Normally you want to support the lower back, but here just to release it, it feels good. And then just make sure you do the opposite of arching, or the opposite to put the back in flexion here. All right. Come back to I knew the dog would make an appearance. There he is. He's getting big. Okay, so we're gonna start our balancing on the floor. Where it's the easiest, we think. Okay, just make sure your hand is a little bit in front of the shoulder. Extend the right leg out behind you, extend the left one. Like it's toes. Do you see how my toes were like this? I actually want them to be down. So we want the pelvis to be as straight as possible, and then look down at your rug or at your mat so that your neck is neutral. We're gonna take a few breaths here. It's like you're shooting sparks through the fingertips. And if you just want to lift the leg, you can do that too. Go ahead and bring your knee down and your hand down. Smash the top of your right hand into the mat to stretch the wrist, because that is a lot of weight to bear on the wrist too. And then shake that out, and we'll do the other side. So extend the left leg and the right arm. Try to get a nice straight line and find a focus point. That's part of the mindfulness that starts to restructure your brain. Once you find your balance, even if your foot never leaves the ground, just breathe. Because that focus will help you. Keep the belly strong here, pressing towards the navel. One more breath. Go ahead and bring the knee and the hand down. Top of the left hand, we're going to stretch that. And then go ahead and shake it out. All right, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Don't worry about straightening your legs or anything. Just lift the hips up and back first. Good. Now pretend that you're walking. Just pedal the feet out. Yep, like walking your dog, your down dog. So you're gonna press your heel towards the mat and maybe bend the knee, opposite. And then any other movement you feel like your body may need here, because the arms can get tired pretty quickly. So come up onto your toes, rock back, move however you like. And then we're gonna separate the feet all the way to the edges of the mat. Start to walk your hands towards the feet. And I want you to kind of hook your fingers onto your toes. Use your 2-piece fingers and hook them around the big toes like you're holding on. And bend your knees if you need to. We're gonna just drop our heads forward. Nice. Who said that? Cool. Do you feel like because of your hamstrings? I bet that pushing your hamstrings a little bit helped. Yeah. Nice. And if you want, you can start to pull on the toes and bring the shoulders back and kind of open up the shoulders too. Or just stay right here. Let the head dangle here. We're staying for 2 more breaths. Now inhale, look up. Start to get the blood out of the brain. Bring your hands to your upper thighs. So here we do want to start to straighten the legs and lift flat back. And I'm not, there has to be muscular movement here. So engage the legs, rip the mat apart with your feet, engage your belly, your abdominals. Bend the knees slightly now. Inhale, come all the way up, nice and slow. Bring your palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Woo! Sometimes I just got to make that noise. Sorry. All right, shake it out a little bit. Inhale, bring your arms up. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart. We're doing that 2 more times. All that good stuff that you were bringing in, that abundance, like scoop it up. And then exhale, bring it in. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale down. We're going to release the hands and then bring the elbows or grab the elbows behind the back or the wrists. However far you can reach, I want you to go to that limit. Go as far as you can. Good. The sun is coming back out. And then we want to pay attention to what's going on with our feet. So the feet are just going to be as separated as the hip joints. The toes are going to be pointing forward. We're going to lift the chest and look over the right shoulder. We're going to do, I used to call this pose like upside down rainbow, which it makes sense when I say it, right? But it is just a neck stretch. Bring your chin to your chest and come all the way across without moving anything else. Just mobility of the neck here, the cervical spine. Once you're looking over your left shoulder, drop it down and go in the other direction. Stop where you need to stop to do some extra stretches. Good. And you might notice that like one side of your neck has more mobility than the other. This is really to bring awareness to that. Do 1 more round. And then you'll just bring your head back to center. Good. All right, moving on. Grab your blocks if you have them. Robin, you won't need a block. And you probably won't either, but well, yeah, it's just in case. Facing the windows, go ahead and take a wide stance. And then bring the block here. And if you don't have a block, just, yeah. Your toes here are going to be pointing forward. And so we're moving, like the theme of today is forward folds. So whether you're sitting down or you're standing up, the legs have to do a lot of work. When we're standing up, it's easier to lock the knees out, and we don't want to lock the knees out. And for my flexible people, like my hyper flexible people, don't lock your knees out. Yes. And I'll know you're doing it because your weight will be back here instead of here. So we'll see how this goes. Bring your hands on your waist. And again, have the toes pointing forward just to keep, that's for the joints, the ankles, the knees all lined up. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, send the hip joints back and the chest forward, come down to the block. If you already know you can come to the floor, then go to the floor. But the back shouldn't round at all. Yep, and go ahead and put your hands on the block. Yeah. Inhale, lengthen. Hinge forward a little bit more. Flatten your block or bring the hands down to the floor. Good. Once your hands are down to the floor, I want you to keep them shoulder width apart, but start walking them back here. And then push your head down closer to the floor. Yeah. Keep your weight shifted forward. That's actually good because I brought it up first. You guys are aware of it, the weight shift. Keep the belly scooping in and up. Yep, and your knees can bend if they need to. We're gonna take a few more breaths. The butt is like really engaged here. So lift the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Yeah. So Sammy, like you could actually grab your toes here if you needed to, because your back is really straight.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, your hamstrings are changing. Okay, so we're gonna reverse this ship. Inhale, look up. And then keep your left hand either on the floor or on the block. We're gonna inhale the right arm up, so come into a twist. And your hips are gonna actually shift to the right a little bit. It's okay if the right knee bends, so you can open up. And then bring the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. Shift your weight a little bit. It'll also stretch the inner thighs, the adductors. Bring the left hand down. Heels are gonna come in. Toes are gonna be out. We're just gonna bring the hands up onto the knees, thighs area. So we're in our goddess pose. We wanna make sure that we're separated enough so that the knees don't go past the ankles, okay? Here, we're just gonna do a stretch, but your legs are gonna work too. So drop the left shoulder, drop the right shoulder. It feels really good. As you're pushing the knee open, the shoulder drops. We'll just do a couple more. Good, yes. I'm glad it's hitting that. Those lower quadrants are hard to get. All right, press the feet. Keep the knees bent. Inhale all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Woo, press the feet, stand up. Walk the feet together. Feel like I said feet 500 times there. It was a lot of feet. Shake the legs out a little bit. Good work. Okay, so first balance pose is going to help with what we just did. Don't be afraid to ask for help from the wall. And we're going to take this in phases. So dancer pose, like full expression of dancer pose is not a beginner pose. So bear with me, okay? Grab your ankle or your foot, and if this is not an option, use the belt. We just want the knee to be pointing straight down. Yep, and you can balance on the wall to help you. Yeah, you're doing great. Good. If you press your hips forward and start to open the chest, you'll feel more of a stretch in the front of the leg. If you want to maybe get away from the wall, have a focus point. If you start to waver, go back to the wall. But if you want to bring the left arm out, and if you want to push the foot into the hand and start to tip forward, go ahead. Otherwise, stay right where you were in the beginning. Only because you guys are leading me in this direction. Good. Take another breath or two. Micro bend that standing knee. Yes. And then when you're done, you're going to come back to standing and just release. Good. That was great. Did you guys think you were going to be doing that today? Real good.
Same feeling when I said balance, you're gonna.
Yeah. Well, after doing that burning goddess pose, I'm like, dude, we need to stretch the front of the legs. Okay, other side. Yep, and then the knee points straight down. Good. And you know what? You might actually be able to grab the inside of the foot because you're pretty flexible here. Yep, exactly. When you're ready, go ahead and bring the arm out. Just find your balance. You're staring at one spot on the floor. Your breath helps you, and always back out. Be ready to back out. If you want to push your foot into your hand, start to bow the body, you can, or stay exactly where you are. And anatomically, it's going to start going that way, and a little bit of that is just fine. Yep. Once you're done, you can go ahead and tip yourself back to standing and release the foot. That was really good. All right, you ready for next round? Next level, time to level up. I know. Finish him. Left hand is going to be on the waist, or you're going to use the wall again. I can't encourage that enough. Grab your knee If this, yep, yeah, this is just to kind of help with balance. Grab your knee. This would be beginner. You guys are rocking this. So maybe let's try to grab the toe. And if this gets a little bit too much, grab the knee again. Maybe we can do this. Or stay here. Is your butt burning on the standing leg yet? That's what, yep, getting stronger. And it's gonna happen whether you're here or grabbing the toe. We're gonna take another breath. All right, so wherever you are, open it out to the right. Good. Bring it back to center. And now point the toes for 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice. You're saying nice things to yourself? Good, good. Other side. Start with the knee. There's actually these convenient little bullseyes on the floor too to stare at. They're nice. If you feel good here, see where you are grabbing the toe. That same hook. If you're good here, maybe do this or stay here. We're going to take another breath or two. The ankle's going to wobble a little bit. It's just getting stronger. Go ahead and open it out to the side. Back to center, and we're going to extend. Point the toes, 3, 2, 1, and release. That is a killer, right? How are we doing? It seemed like a lot of people were stronger on that side. Like, you feel what your stronger side was? Yeah? All right. Inhale, bring the arms up. Grab your left hand. Grab your right wrist. Lean the other way. Come back to center. Bring the arms down. We're going to separate the feet. Woo. Inhale, bring the arms up. Palms together. And as you exhale, we're bending the knees and coming into a squat. Yes. Okay. So here we are. Even though whether you're flat on your feet or if your toes are raised or if you need to be sitting on a block right now, everybody's going to lift up onto their toes. Okay? That way we can bring the knees, use the elbows on the insides of the knees to press the knees open. Yeah, let the heels drop towards the mat, but the heels aren't on the mat. Because we're going to do this now. Left hand to the floor. Inhale the right arm up. Bring the right hand down. Get the knee on the inside of the leg. And we're kind of pushing ourselves open here for this twist. Bring the left hand down. And then bring your hands behind you and have a seat. So just straighten the legs and kind of circle the ankles around a little bit. You were just balancing on your ankles for like ever. Woo. But I'm always surprised at how well adults do with that posture. I mean, kids can do it a little bit easier than adults because their bodies are typically more flexible. I'm always just blown away. Okay, bend the right knee, drop it out to the side. Bring it back down to the floor here. Active leg, right? Because we're doing a forward fold. You can use a belt here if you want, but I don't think any of you need it after watching. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, fold. Just reach towards the foot. Yep, if you can grab the foot, go for it. Good. And if it hurts too much, just back out a little bit. Maybe grab the ankle or the shin. Yeah. If your hands are on the outside of your foot, slip out. Take, yes. Yeah. And then keep drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. You be staring at your shin, your toes. Just have one spot. We're taking 2 more breaths here. Good. And then inhale, look up at your foot, and then exhale, release. Same thing on the other side. Bend, drop it out. We do that so we close the knee joint first. So if we do this 100 times over our yoga practice career, your knee joint is just twisting. So always close the knee joint first and then drop it out. Here we go. Press the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you go. Be honest with your back and your body. You'll notice here that if you scoop the belly in and up energetically, that's meant to help lift your body up. Yeah, so you might notice the difference there. A couple more breaths. And then inhale, look up at your foot, and exhale, release. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. And so you want to be holding on to like where the top of the foot and the ankle meet, that angle right there. And as you fold forward, we're not folding forward just yet, but as you go forward, you want to kind of peel the legs open, and the knees are going to press into the creases as your chin reaches towards the floor. Now you might just go right here, and that's fine. Okay. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, fold. Your back, yeah, good. Your back is strong. Your back is pushing you forward. Nice. Take another breath or two. Inhale, come all the way up. That was awesome. We're going to go down again, but this time as we exhale, we're going to actually round the back and drop the top of our head towards our feet. Okay? So inhale, get tall. Exhale, tuck the chin, push the spine, drop the head. Let the spine go here. Yeah, let the head go. Good. The elbows are still pushing the hip creases open. Nice. And your spine is really in flexion here, like the letter C. So push your belly button towards your back. Take a couple more breaths. And then inhale, come all the way up. Good. Use your hands to bring your knees back together. And then we're going to keep our feet here. We're going to do a modified version of boat pose, where you can either keep your hands here and lift the legs, or you can go here. I mean, if you're feeling a little bit spicy, if you want to go all the way, go all the way. But you don't have to, because it's a beginner class. Good question. So you're like rolling. It's like the spot between your tailbone and your sitting bone. So you're not on your tailbone necessarily, because that will end up hurting. It should be in a spot that feels like you can balance, but also does not hurt your tailbone. So your sitting bones are involved too. Okay? I mean, everything is involved in this pose, but seriously. So keep the chest lifted, and we always want to start, like, the most important thing about boat is that we keep the body together. Okay? So go ahead and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the feet down and just give your legs a hug. Just rest. We're going up one more time, but don't think about that. Be in the present moment in your rest. All right, here we go. One more time. Go ahead and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the feet down. One more hug. Go ahead and lift up. We're gonna support ourselves to come down onto our backs. First, straighten the legs after that boat pose, because it really does a number on your hip flexors, like the short range hip flexors, to get those and like your quadriceps and that strong. Bring the arms overhead, take a stretch. We're actually going to do one more thing here before we go into our real. Bring the arms down, bend the knees. Bring your left ankle to your right thigh. And so we are going to see if we can interlace our fingers behind the right leg and then pull the knee towards the body, okay? Keep the feet flexed. And if this is not, like if you're not feeling a stretch here, bring your hands to the outside of the knee. Good. Yep. And let your head and shoulders rest. We're going to take another breath or two here. And then bring your right foot down, bring the other foot down. Same thing on the other side. Right ankle to left knee, interlace behind the left thigh. Good. And then draw the knee towards the body. Grab the outside of the knee if you need more. Keep the muscles in the face soft. Keep the breath slow and steady. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Go ahead and bring the feet down. And then separate the feet and drop the knees back and forth. So make sure you get the hips up when you twist. So we can just kind of get one more twist going and also neutralize everything. And then we're going to hug the knees and come into our Shavasana. So stop your rocking, bring the knees up, rock the lower back. You can even bring this into a happy baby if you'd like, which is grabbing the insides of the legs, pressing the knees down, or grabbing the insides of the feet, pressing the knees down, and rocking. One last hip opener. And then bring the knees back together. Everyone brings their feet down. Straighten the legs, bring the arms down, palms face up. If there's anything special you want for your relaxation, like something under the knees, you could put your bolster under the knees. Yes, you can. Take some deep breaths once you arrive. And we're just going to do a body scan here from the top of your head. Just slowly feel the muscles in the face release. Feel your jaw unhinge, your teeth separate. And we're just going to follow that wave down into the shoulders, softening the shoulder muscles, the arms, out through the fingertips. And the wave moving down the spine slowly until it reaches the pelvis. Feeling all the muscles in the back release. Feel the navel drop to the back of the body. And then continue that wave of softness and release into the hips, the legs, out through the feet. Every single muscle in the body released, softened, no gripping whatsoever. And for the next few moments, we're just going to lie here and observe how the body feels after our practice. Notice the thoughts that come up into the mind, and when they do bubble to the surface, just let them kind of flow by, almost like a movie reel or thought bubbles. Just let them leave. You acknowledge they come up, but do see if you can start to pay attention to those empty spaces in between any thoughts that come up. So you allow yourself to just be for the next few moments. Allow your inhalations to begin to deepen. And When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Moving into the wrists and the ankles. And starting to bring back other gentle movement to the body. Maybe taking a long stretch, a hug of the knees, whatever feels good here. And then when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and roll onto your right side. So knees bent, roll onto your side, use your arm as a pillow. We're just going to pause here for a few moments on our side. Enjoying the last few moments of stillness. And also thanking yourself for coming to your yoga mat today. Knowing that you've done great things for your body in your practice. Go ahead and push yourself slowly to a seated position. Let the head stay heavy. And we'll close out class together. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you today. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Did a great job. Bye.
What is this other
Let me-
one?